Episode number 99 with Marc Alioto. Welcome to the Heads Up Poker Podcast. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your tweets. Thank you for all your messages on Facebook. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for writing in. And thank you for tuning in each and every week. Wouldn't be here without you. Really wouldn't. Got a special treat for you guys today. We're bringing Marc Alioto. I've been up at my folks' house with a friend of mine hunting all week, and I just got back. I've got to go to work here in about an hour, and I was talking with my dad, and I said, I'm not sure what to do. I've been out of touch. They don't have any cell phone reception up there. They do have Wi-Fi, but way out in the sticks. I was talking to my dad, and I said, I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard spot here. I don't know what to do. I can't get an episode out by Monday. And he said, just do what TV programs do. Throw in a rerun. I'm like, that's a damn good idea. So I went through the list, picked out one of the highest rated ones on iTunes. And I think there's good reason for that. Marc is, to set the stage here, Mike and I interviewed Marc. This is going to be episode 9 that we're going to replay. So for you longtime listeners, you'll remember this back when we were getting 100 downloads a week or so, whatever it was. You guys will remember this. And for you guys that are new to the podcast, this will be kind of a treat. This is 90 episodes ago. So we recorded this back in February of 2015. Mike and I had absolutely no idea what he was doing, no idea what we were doing, but luckily Marc was he'd been doing podcasts for quite a while, and he just made for a very easy guest. And I've gotten a lot of emails and people have contacted me saying that this is definitely one of our better episodes, which is surprising because it's only episode 9, but I was just listening to it a little bit ago, and I can see why. Marc just really carries the podcast. We go really in depth into strategy, and you can see how important it is to really, really study and put your nose to the grindstone when it comes, if you want to be the best at poker. And Marc illustrates that pretty well. So I've been up in Idaho with my friend Jeff for the last week. Took some time off of work, and we flew up there, and we went hunting for a couple of deer, which we came back with. They're sitting in the freezer now, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of bittersweet because you actually have to kill them, and then you have to skin them and cut them and butcher them and get them in the freezer seal bags, and then we got it back, but it's in the freezer now, and it was a good experience. It was a lot of fun. So beef jerky is in my future. Before we go into Marc, I want to tell you quickly about Elliott Row. You can get your MP3, a free one, a 7-minute tilt buster. I know you're listening to this before you play because you just wouldn't be setting yourself up for success if you weren't. Today's poker players are under a lot of pressure. You're under a pressure cooker, and you can gain a significant advantage by listening to an MP3 first. It's a meditation tape. Regardless of what kind of game you play, he's got meditation tapes for all of them. Online cash, live MTTs, online MTTs. He has them all. Elliott Row. You can get your MP3s. Click on the link in the show notes. It'll take you straight to his page. You can see which one it is that you want to download. He's got them, not necessarily even just for specific types of poker. If you want it for bankroll management, he's got a Leak Buster series. I have them all. I swear to God, I do. If you come up to me, ask me, and I will show you all the downloads on my phone of Elliott Row. I have every single one, except for his Spin and Goes. I don't play those. They don't come on my site, so I don't have that one. But I've got all the other ones. Highly recommend them. Very cool. You can get them on your phone, and you just listen to this little 10-minute MP3 before you play, and it will relax you, put you in the right frame of mind. If you're not studying enough, he's got one for studying. They're amazing. They really are. I fall asleep to them all the time. You know, when you've been grinding for like 10, 12 hours on a Sunday and you go to sleep, maybe you have work the next morning and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you know you've got to get up at 7 and you're counting the clock and you're like, okay, if I fell asleep exactly right now, I would get 6 hours. And you just listen to this one. It's about 20 minutes long. I don't remember the ending because I always fall asleep before I get to the ending. He's got them for warm-up sessions. Trust me, they're wonderful. Click on the link in the show notes. It'll take you straight to his page. If you decide to buy one, use the code HUPOKER and you'll score yourself 10% off. If you played a hand recently that you want Mike and I to discuss on the podcast, you can go to HeadsUpPoker.Poker. Click on Submit a Hand. Type all the details out. You guys that know me know I'm a stickler on the details, blind levels, all that stuff, or just copy and paste your hand history, and Mike and I will go over it on the air. Or just send me a tweet at HUPPodcast. I love getting your guys' tweets. I threw up some tweets recently on my trip up in Idaho. Some pretty cool pics up there, like your guys' retweets. Love seeing those. Love all the reviews on iTunes. Very cool. I read them all. And without further ado, here is Marc Alioto. Welcome to the Heads Up Poker Podcast. This is Steve Barton, and I'm here with...
This is Mike Snyderman.
How the hell are you, Mike?
Well, dramatic pause.
Pause for effect.
I am overcome with melancholy.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak in an NPR voice because
okay.
I ran deep in a tournament and was knocked out, and I'm very unhappy because I thought I was getting ready for a nice score.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me grab the tissues.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm ready to proceed.
All right.
Well, I was keeping you updated. It kind of sucked. I played at Event 2 of the LAPC yesterday. Well, Saturday and Sunday. And I ended up 13th out of 577. But I was 7th out of 31 going into day 2, and I really liked my seat, and I liked the competition. And, just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And, everyone's been hearing about how bad I'm running. I've had like a $20,000 downswing, which has just been obscene. So this little mini score scored me $3,200 or a $2,700 profit. And
it was a 500 buy-in, right?
Yeah, well, 570, and it would paid 3260. So yeah,
okay,
pretty much. Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, as I told you, it's when you first started playing MTTs, just to run deep was good enough, and just that little bit of money, even that was good enough when I had a full-time job. But right now, this is pretty crushing.
Yeah.
And it's funny, maybe I mentioned this before. I remember whenever I listened to like interviews or with poker pros, a few of them talked about how losing is just horrific and winning is just relief. It's not fun almost. And I was always like that. And I mean, I can't really speak of, I haven't won anything in a while, but, well, I mean, even my decent scores online recently, it's just been, okay, thank God I got a few more dollars coming my way. And this one yesterday was just absolutely crushing. I mean, I just had to, before I even wanted to drive home, I just walked around the casino for 45 minutes listening to music and just, replaying some hands, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I don't know. I started the day with 336,000 in chips. And I got a couple nice hands early, aces and kings. One was like a 3-bet squeeze with a couple folds, and I stole the blinds a couple times. And then I had a kings and 3-bet, and the person called and actually called. This was the chip leader, and then she actually called the flop bet and then folded on the turn to a big bet. So I was playing really well for the most part. And then I remember I got I think I got a bad beat where like I got it all in, like ace king against the short stacks, ace 10 and fell back. But then, I was pretty much card dead after that, but I kept building. And I think I had about 800,000 chips when there was about 18 players left, when the chip average was probably like 440 or something. I was probably like third in chips at that point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to... Well, before we even talk about this, we always should probably start by talking about especially when we have a guest on, as good as we do this week, we should always say what we have coming up here.
That's right. We've got Marc Alioto. He's a online MTT grinder, sit-and-go grinder. The guy is he's awesome. We met him out in Vegas. He's a member of the TPE Tournament Poker Edge training site. He's one of the coaches there. Just a funny guy. He loves to talk strategy, probably just as much, if not more, than Mike and I do. And
he's a pro, which is the one thing I'm interested in talking about. Someone who's actually survived in the poker world for however long now. So and he's profitable, like I said, very profitable online. And he just had a very nice score a few weeks ago.
Oh, did he?
And hopefully that's mostly why I wanted to talk to him. He won the main event on Merge on January 4th for a little over $28,000.
Good for him. Good for him.
So. Yeah, so I'm sure he's probably still half elated from that, and maybe he has a couple interesting hands from that to discuss. So I'm really looking forward to talking to him.
Yeah, me too. Well, should we bring him in?
Sure. See if he's available there, Steve.
Okay, let's see. All right. Without further ado, here is Marc Alioto.
You guys know what you need to do. You need to talk. Derek, I already told him. Derek will plug you guys on TP and stuff. You need to talk to Derek and get your podcast up on TP. He would love to do that for you guys.
Oh wow, that would be great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll give you his Skype. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Hold on a sec. Did you guys play yesterday?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good, Mike. That was I bricked
No,
everything.
I don't know if you were up on Twitter yesterday. I actually played LAPC event number 2. And,
sick.
And I went out in, there are 577 runners. I went out in 13th place.
Oh, shit.
Which is, of course, how you know this shit runs was 3,200, where first place was 54K. And,
the girl won it. I saw
yeah,
the girl won.
Yeah.
She was cute, too.
Yeah, you know. Well, she's poker cute, you know.
Well, poker cute, 6 becomes a 10.
Pretty much. I'm always. I don't know if you ever just fucking around on the internet. You go to these hot women of poker, and it's just like any blonde under the age of 30 is supposed to look like Christy Brinkley or something.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Don't get me wrong. I pretty much will do anything. So you know, but
yeah, me too.
Oh, it's great. It's good to hear your voice, Mark.
I know, likewise, boys. I can't wait for Vegas. You guys are coming out to Vegas, I hope.
Oh, for the WSOP? Or?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
We'll see if Walmart gives me a week off, man. That's where I'll probably be working
Mike,
at
where
soon.
are you in LA now?
I'm in San Diego, North County, San Diego.
San Diego? And Steve, where are you?
I'm in Ventura.
You're in Ventura, okay.
Yeah.
I was in Santa Barbara for years. I went to school down there, so I know Ventura pretty well.
Oh, yeah. I'm near downtown Ventura, you know, where all the bars and restaurants are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right there. My wife and I just walk to downtown and go have some drinks or dinner or whatever, and then walk home. I love it.
Where do you play in Ventura? You have to go to LA or something?
No. There's a Players casino about 12 minutes from my house.
Oh, nice.
It's right off the freeway. It's got I think 18 or 20 tables. It's a decent sized room.
Wow, it's gigantic. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, they got 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, and 5, 10.
And I know San Diego, Mike, has a bunch of Indian casinos that do some series.
Right.
One my buddy used to play at. God, I can't remember the name of it, but there's
Pachanga.
Really good series.
Pachanga had actually a pretty good tournament on Saturday. I was debating whether to go to L.A. I final tabled the main event of their previous tournament, so I was feeling, superstitious lucky about there. But the Pachanga had a 100K guarantee, and I know a guy who he got knocked out 30th. He said it was the softest field he'd ever seen. So, yeah. But I came actually here thinking I was going to make a transition to cash. Try to have more of a 9-to-5 thing because I got a son here and can't travel, et cetera, et cetera. But it's only because I've had a couple live scores that I'm still able to pay my rent, actually, because the cash.
But you beat online. You annoy the shit out of me online, so that's a good thing. That's a compliment. When people annoy the shit out of me, they're good.
Right. Well, no, I'm a winning tournament player, but cash is it's been a tough learning lesson, and hopefully I'll figure that out. I don't know. Do you ever? I heard there's a San Francisco casino that's got pretty soft that's got one that's – someone told me there's one up there that's like a 2.5 deep stack where you can buy in for like $2,500, which would be like the dream table. I don't know which – I have to find
Lucky Chance, it's probably Lucky Chance in Colma. Lucky Chance is awesome. Like, I barely play live. Like, I'm pretty much strictly online until the series. Just because I love MTTs. But yeah, the cash games out here, like the Lucky Chance 1-2 game that I used to play was the best game I've ever played in my life. Like, you could walk out of there with like 2,500 starting with 200 easy. Like, the plays, my buddy was telling me in the hand last night where like he shoved $150 in 1-2 and the guy called it with 4 high.
What?
I was like, dude, you don't understand. There's just a bunch of gamblers.
A lot of money in San Francisco too, obviously.
Yeah,
it's like the richest city.
There's good games up north too, in like Roner Park, Petaluma area. Like they just built that new casino, Grattan, and like there's Thunder Valley, and I mean there's tons out here. I wish I played more live, but I love online, like more tables. Yeah.
Yeah. The other problem though is anytime there's a soft game, the pros are sniffing that out pretty quick and showing up. I gotta say.
Yeah.
So, and this is my frustration from cash speaking here. But anyways,
it's hard to beat variance in cash too. Like especially live cash, it's slow.
Right. It's supposed to be cash is supposed to be less variance than tournaments. They say. Well, I guess online is a totally different thing where you can grind out such a volume.
Yeah, like you'll see 3x the amount of hands per hour or something, but it's tougher, obviously. I mean, no, live cash, I have buddies that do it for a living, and like I know guys that have gone on like 25 times playing where they lost money, and that's like absurd to me.
That's
scary, I guess.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
And they're really good, though, so, like, it seems like it's just the norm, I guess. But that seems like the worst I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know how to, especially if you're deep stack, you can just play great poker. And then, I've had days where at 5-5, I've worked it up to 4,000. But the problem is you got a couple other guys there with 4,000 chips who've been grinding for 8 hours. And, all it takes is one hand to ruin a lot of hard work.
Do you get any coaching for cash?
I have not. I probably should.
Man. Last year I was coached. I mean, I don't know if you want to.
This is actually kind of really more than even your. Well, of course, I contacted you because you had a really nice score. The first Sunday of this year. I don't know if you want to tell us quickly what that was.
Yeah, I was in the Merge Major, the Sunday Big Ticket. It was amazing. Like so basically what was happening in 2014 was like towards the end I was fighting for SharkScope leaderboard. I couldn't go for OPR because I had to change my name a bunch of times, whatever. So it was like just a personal goal to be number one on SharkScope for Merge MTTs.
That's a good goal.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but it actually ruined me because the last 3 months I was stressing more than I've ever stressed in my life. I was playing horribly. I was tilting at the table.
Were you rebuying short and doing stuff you normally didn't do?
No.
Okay.
I'm actually very good at not doing that.
I wish I was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, even if the high roller, like, I very rarely will bullet that 3 times. It's 215. Like, and I'll, like, very rarely will I be in it 3 times unless I have, like, 30 plus bigs. But yeah, really stressed out, like playing horribly, ended up like whatever, we closed it out at the end, which was nice. And then I take like 5 days off, and I have a mental coach too, who's actually in the TP forums, Elliot. You should read about him. He's amazing. And I had been working with him for 3 months, maybe 4 months now.
What's his name? Elliot?
Elliot Rowe.
Oh, yeah. He's been on the TPE podcast.
That's funny. I don't know if you watched the last TPE video from Daryl Jace. He actually throws a little jab at you because he's playing against Nick Eunice. And he's like, here was the number 1 player last year. Sorry, Mark. He obviously he's coaching you, so he knows specifically what your goals are. Yes,
I worked with Daryl all last year. That's why I was mentioning it to you. Like getting coached was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I also get coaching from Dip Throng, and even Ben Reason, who's only done one series for TP. But Ben is, I mean, all of them are amazing and different, and they're all different. So I get learning new stuff all the time. That's been the biggest, I guess, catalyst in my growth. Like, these guys have just changed my game and really helped me. But yeah, then January came. I was stress-free, not worried about a leaderboard this year. I'm just going to play poker. And, like, sure enough, the first time I sit down, I hadn't played up until, I think it was January 4th or something. I don't know. The first Sunday was the first day I played. Yeah, we run it up, and we get head up with probably the toughest player on the site.
Who was that?
P. Kaiser. He was LOL, nice hand, well played, and then now he's something else. But it's P. Kaiser from Pocket Fives. He's been number one on Stars. And, like, it was setting up for me and him to get head up. And, yeah, I wanted that. I wanted to beat him head up. I mean, whatever. It was the head up wasn't anything. I mean, we actually played, like, 50 bigs deep. It was pretty interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the one interesting. I know a lot of people prefer Bovada, which I played a little bit at. But final tables in Bovada, the few I make, are really shallow.
Yeah, you're lucky if you got 20, 25 bigs.
Where on those merge final tables, the best player usually wins, I think. I mean, or who's ever playing the best, I should say.
I agree. Yeah, Bovada, like, especially the 30K, you get to the final table there and, like, chip leader is 20 bigs. It's kind of absurd. It takes away all the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, the average is 8 to 12.
Oh, God. Yeah, I actually don't play there anymore because, I don't know, do you guys like the numbers? Like, the numbers, I want to, I don't know.
You're a HUD my master, I know. That was something else I wanted to touch upon.
Yes.
Because I know your mentor, the big dog, Casey Jarzabek. I don't know if you're willing to use that term, but I know you said he influenced you greatly at the beginning.
He's definitely my mentor. He's my biggest mentor in poker, and shoot,
he's the last SOB who doesn't believe in these things, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think it was a year and a half ago I got him using one, and Dip Throng doesn't use one either, actually. And like Paul G's and like a lot of sickos don't use them.
I don't think Chris Moon, another coach, uses them either. If I recall him.
No, Moon uses one. I've studied with Moon before. Or, you know what? It's funny. He didn't use one. He used one and then was off one for like a year and then got back on it. I mean, there's just far too many good things that can come out of using a HUD. Just rates, as long as you're not married to it, it's always going to help you. It's like a little cheat sheet. But yeah, Big Dog he used it for a little bit and just didn't like it. I mean, Big Dog's a big field player. I'm more of, I don't know, I'm still more of a field player myself, but like, I do like the math. Like, I love using the HUD and like, especially studying, like analyzing people's numbers. Like, I studied Mark Dube for like, cause Mark Dube was number one.
Sure.
2013, and I studied his game. I have 5,000 hands on the guy, and I picked apart his game. Probably spent like literally 10 hours on it.
Wow.
I figured out a really good strategy to beat him and play against him, basically.
I was going to say, I found he's got the weirdest HUD statistic ever, where he c-bets 99% of the time.
His flop c-bet, like in 5,000 hands with me, is 96%, but his turn c-bet is 34. So.
Oh, well, that's your edge right there.
Just flat for your float. See, I check raise him a lot.
Yeah, I do both.
But a lot of times, like once I called a check raise and he called with king high, and then I just pretty much gave up and went to the river, and it was just like, oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah,
I'm sure he knows how to adjust. I mean, like,
sure.
I don't know if he uses a HUD though, to be honest. I met him in Vegas and talked to him. Really intelligent guy. Didn't actually get into if he used a HUD or not, but yeah, I mean, that stat alone is like pretty absurd, and there's ways to counter that: floating, check raising, letting him hang himself. I mean, sometimes he plays a lot. Like, I don't think that's the best strategy, like 90% flop, 30% turn at all. That's way more balanced when he's, I'd say like 1 to 4 tabling. I mean, he's a mass multi-tabler, so
Okay.
he just has the strategy that works with that. And I mean, the guy's had the, like, I think he profited like 500,000 live this year, so he's doing something right.
That's a funny story. I've told some people where he won the 5K at the Venetian for over 300K, I think it was.
And that final table was really, really
tough. Oh
tough.
Yeah. But then so I'm on Merge the next day, and I'm like, thank God we'll never see Mark Dube again. And we're all laughing, congratulations. Surely he's going to be done with Merge. And like the very next night, I start a $33 tournament. He's on my left. I mean, you'd think, but that's just, I think poker players are just smarter now. They know, I mean, if he's got a spot that he's profitable on, he just can't, it's stupid just to give up on it and start running around playing 10Ks or something.
Yeah, and I think a lot of poker players make that mistake of playing 10Ks and stuff. They win something and think, they're on top of the world, and then they quickly find out that's not how it works. No, Mark's very sound, and I'm not surprised he did that. Like in Vegas when I was out there, like I would grind and be like, there's going to be no regs today, and like sure enough, Dube was there. I'm like, dude, there's series event today. He's like, oh, I took the day off to grind the high roller. And I'm like, oh, sick. Like standard makes sense, I guess. And he crushed Bovada too. Like didn't have a big year on Merge, but yeah, I mean he's very good live, online. You name it, he's done it.
Yeah, I do try to learn from the better players in the site. I mean, it sounds, just from already speaking to you for 6 minutes, I can tell you work a hell of a lot harder at this than I do. But like I know Nick Eunice. I know I watched like 3 times in an hour where he would just call from the blinds in a multi-way pot. And then,
Yeah, not to interrupt you, sorry. I've studied his big blind defend strategy. It's amazing. He defends literally any 2 to a min raise, and it's something that's actually happening on Stars now, just the evolution of poker. I mean, the price you get immediately is 4 to 1, and if you assume they c-bet every single time, which most people do, like, you need 6 to 1 to call, so, like, you can profitably call basically any 2 out of the big blind to a min raise.
Yeah, but you got to play really, really well after the flop.
That's true. You do have to be better post-flop, which I've actually struggled with because Ben Reason actually got me defending. I was defending maybe like 26 to 32% out of the big blind, and now I'm up to like high 40s, low 50s. Oh, so that's a huge increase. That's a shit ton of more hands that I'm defending now.
It is.
But like, yeah, we studied Nick one time, Ben and I. We spent an hour just going over, watching we filtered on Hold the Manager. That's where the HUD's great too. It just tracks all your hands so you can do these awesome reviews.
Yeah.
So we went back and we filtered out just big blind, Nick Eunice, big blind strategy. And there's another player that does it too. I can't remember his name. Anyways, yeah, it was amazing. He was like defending 7 deuce off. So he's 100% to a min raise, like at a certain stack depth. Well, and he would win these massive pots because he's really, really good post-flop. I have tons of respect for him. I mean, he's trained by Pete Kaiser.
Now you're defending more frequently. Obviously, you're calling flops with air quite a bit now.
Well, that's the thing. When you're getting 4 to 1, you can just check fold.
Okay, that was my.
You don't have to smack it that much, But yeah, I do a lot more floating as well too. I think you have to balance it though.
So specifically, the coaching you got last year. I mean, what was? Daryl Jace, I'm sure, makes good money from this. He doesn't want you to give out his. But so what? How does it start? Do you send him a couple hand history reviews to look at, and he comes back and?
Well, yeah, there's a couple ways of doing it. And I didn't do any coaching before this, so Mike, you can catch up quickly. Just do it this year. The most amazing thing the best thing I ever did for my career was getting coaching. Videos are great, but if you really want to go next level, you have to get coaching. And I spent probably around $10,000 on coaching last year.
I was going to ask that too, yeah.
But you send them a hand history. You can do that, or you just get on with them and you review a hand history together. We did that more of the time, and then we also would play head up quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, I worked with Daryl more than anyone. Daryl had like a massive effect on my game. Made me just see the light, I guess. There were so many things I wasn't doing that I didn't even know existed. And when he would say it, I would just almost be in awe. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. This makes such sense. And I would take it to the tables, and like, sure enough, like I was printing, like people didn't know what to do against it. Like a lot of and it was more post-flop stuff because I have the sit-and-go background, so I'm pretty sound at push-fold. Yeah. I struggled post. Post-flop is tough.
Yeah, I still remember one video from Daryl Jace where like he defended with like ace 3, and then the flop is like 7-5 deuce. He's like, we just flopped the nuts. And I had no fucking idea what he's talking about there, but he basically was stating unequivocally that the villain was going to fold. I can't remember the specifics. Maybe because of their bet size, they didn't have a pair, and they've got just so much air in their range, whatever. But it's like, yeah, it's one of those times where you defend from the blinds with some, light holding where you just didn't really hit. But yeah, I mean, he just played it like, he was going to play it against this other player like he absolutely had the stone nuts, and of course he took it down.
Yeah, offhand, I could tell you probably check raise because that's a really good board that smacks big blind defending range more than like a opener. Yeah, no, Daryl is awesome. He barely plays. He's got a family and kids and stuff. He does a lot of coaching, and he's really passionate about coaching. Which is rare. I mean, a lot of coaches aren't that way. They just kind of do it for the money.
Right.
But,
can I ask you his hourly rate? Was he like $80 an hour or something?
No, it's more than that. I don't know if it's changed, but I don't think he probably posted somewhere else. I bought a package, so I probably got. I mean, I always buy like 20 hours because you just get a discount. Okay. But I think he's roughly 150, 160 per hour. Which is a lot, but if you have someone that's really passionate and really good at it, I mean, the other guys I've dealt with are more expensive than that. And for me, it's just I've spent $250 an hour on some guys. The investment's worth it though. Like I've been lucky. The guys I've gotten to coach me have been really passionate about it, and yeah, I really enjoyed working with them.
I can already tell from this interview I'm going to be very motivated to get better at poker, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah, no.
By the way, if anyone listens to the Andrew Brokus Thinking Poker podcast, the one with Daryl Jace, he's really an interesting dude.
I know. I love
he
that.
He was a poker player by the time he was like 15 and dropped out of school.
Yeah.
And he's got all sorts of weird, by interesting, I mean weird in a non adversarial way, but he's pretty interesting. I mean, you can tell he's just spent thousands of hours thinking about poker.
Yeah.
His story is really crazy too because he had those big scores at like such a young age, and then I mean that's just got to be tough. I couldn't imagine getting that kind of money at that age. I would have blown it all, like whatever. Right. I won't say what, but who knows? It could have been bad.
Wine, women, and song.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting into poker, here we're doing this interview ass backwards, but I kind of wanted to talk about how you first got into poker. And I was looking at your TPE bio, and I said, well, this is a guy who's just destined to play poker. You've got like you've got the competitive chess as a child, and then you got then eventually Magic the Gathering. Then you're a guy who's into math, right, in college, and then you even got like the ex-athlete, who you still thrive for that competition kind of thing. So, do you remember when exactly though you knew poker was your thing, definitive?
Yeah. I mean, I was a massive sports gambler in college. I had a guy calling me, giving me picks. I don't know if you've seen Two for the Money. It's kind of a bad representation of the story. But anyway, yeah, some guy, like what happens is these guys buy your phone numbers from these sports gambling sites, and they call you and go like, hey, I'm Jerry from New York. I got a pick for you today. It's a lock. And I fell into it, and but I mean, I'll say it, like I turned 200 into like 30,000.
Sports gambling.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
And,
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, but the story gets better. Well, worse for me, but probably better for the podcast listeners.
I love disasters, please.
Yeah, it's coming.
Every detail.
So what happens
mention the tears.
Yeah, I mean, basically. You end up paying these guys, so like baseball season came around, and he's like, all right, I need $6,000, and he knew I was winning money, because you pay them when you win. They're basically gambling with your money. It's the biggest hustle in the world, so any of these guys that ever call you giving them picks, can I swear?
Yeah.
Tell them to fuck off.
Okay.
So whatever, I paid him $6,000. I mean, these guys were cool, though. I actually ended up being friends with them. I sometimes still talk to them. Anyways, long story short, first week of baseball season, $30,000 down the drain. Hideo Nomo. I can't remember the other pitchers, but yeah. And so whatever, that kind of sparked. I love to gamble. Shocker. Started playing the home games, and I was winning all the time, and I was like, why am I winning? I mean, I had played cards with my grandpa. We used to play gin rummy and stuff all the time. And then, the chess and even the Magic. So I was like, I love game theory. Like, I just love games.
Right. That's actually perfect to dump your entire sports betting in 1 week. It wasn't like 3 years of wasted of agony of up and down. You knew like quickly you had to do something else.
Yeah, and it was a quick reality check. Like, I thought I was going to do that the rest of my life, which was, I was sadly mistaken, was not going to happen. I wasn't going to just bet on hockey that I couldn't name a player. I wasn't going to bet on, it was just never going to happen that way.
Is this a leak still, though? Do you still bet sports sometimes?
I degen, quite a bit. I'm now into daily fantasy sports, which is much better than sports gaming. But I have hiccups like during the year where I'll have like, shit, I don't mind saying it. Like I have times where I lose like 10,000 in a day, and
wow,
yeah, it sucks. I'm not as big as a degen as that sounds. Like that's like the worst day. Like last year, overall, I lost probably like 15 grand betting sports, which I'm not proud of, but
that's nothing. That's nothing compared to a lot of these poker players, as we know. Yeah,
and it's like an addiction I actually battle all the time. I always joke that I wonder if it's better than cocaine, but I remember on ESPN they're like, here's a brain of a guy that uses cocaine every day, and here's that of a professional sports gambler. And the sports gambler was 10 times worse.
Yeah, since we're interviewing you, I won't get it, but my history is much uglier when it comes to gambling. Like 20 years in casinos, and I pretty much moved to poker because I'm like, well, I can still be a degen, but make money.
Yeah,
and I got to say, even though I'm not losing money at poker, I've done like I stayed at the Borgata for like 10 days and walked by a craps table 600 times and didn't even take a step in that direction. So I'm kind of proud of that. But
no, that's awesome. That's a big step in the right direction. I don't mess with table games, thankfully, or slots or anything like that.
Those daily fantasy sports, though, this is kind of in the Millionaire Maker. I was playing next to Jonathan Tamayo. I don't know if you remember him. He made a final table of the WSOP main event.
He plays on the Winning Network.
He still plays online?
Yeah, he plays on the Winning Network as I can't remember his name offhand, but yeah, he's really solid.
But he told me he was doing mostly daily fantasy sports, and he said the edges are so much bigger in that than they are in poker. But it's similar in that you got to do a lot of work and stuff. And it's like everybody who watches every football game thinks they're an expert, but those aren't it's guys who don't even watch football who are winning those things, who are doing nothing but crunching numbers and, geeking it up.
Yeah, my older brother destroyed NFL, and he doesn't do any other sport. It depends what sports. The problem is with NBA is now it's almost solved. Like, the edge was there, but now there's algorithms and smart stuff that is like, they're destroying it. Like, the edge in NBA is like almost not there. And like, I spend hours on it. I don't do it when I play, but I'm really interested because it's kind of like comparing blackjack to poker. Blackjack is the house. So compare that to sports gambling and daily fantasy. Sports gambling, you're against the house. DFS, you're against players, just like normal people like poker. Right. So there is going to be an edge there.
Yeah.
I will say
my brother does that. He does weekly fantasy though with the NFL. And,
on these like FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah, he does DraftKings. You start with like 50,000 or whatever. So
Yeah.
you can do a $5 fantasy thing. You can do $10 or $100 or whatever. And so he'll do. You start with 50,000, and then okay, if you want Aaron Rodgers, well, that costs 11,000.
Yeah.
And so there goes 20% of your bankroll right there just for this one guy. So you gotta pick guys better than the other guy. And he said there's a big edge in it.
I wonder if it's
NFL,
part of it is.
yeah.
I wonder if part of it is do you kind of sometimes play the same guys over and over if it's about developing personal relationships where people just like you somehow and you find the 2 or 3 best whales there. I don't know. I know one guy. He was telling me his best friend took $250,000 off this guy in like 6 months playing pretty much heads up high limit PLO, and a lot of it was just the guy liked hanging out with him. You know what I mean? He's like the best whale. Yeah, but he's the best whale in the casino, and it's just this is who he wanted. He enjoyed playing with for whatever reason. I wonder if there's an element of that in the fantasy world, but.
Well, the thing with fantasy is, like, usually you're playing in, like, a massive field. Like, I actually play 50-50s, which is funny because that's how I started with poker. Or not started, but that's where a big chunk of my career was in double or nothings. They have a similar thing on DFS, just 50-50s. You buy in half the field, doubles their money, plus a little rake. So I enter, like, literally 100 or 200 of those, anywhere from, like, $1 to $10. And, you end up seeing all the same people in them now. So that's when you start to know it's drying up. But, it's been fun. It's, NFL was really profitable. NBA has not been. NBA, and I spend a decent amount of time. I talk to a bunch of guys that have been doing it for quite a bit. They're saying the same thing. It's drying up. So, at first I was like, wow, this is just like poker in like 2001, like the money's great. And then I was like, no, it's not.
Right.
I say it though, man, like if I didn't do daily fantasy and I didn't do sports gambling, I would make I don't even want to say really how much more I think I would make, but I would make so much more money per year. If I was all about the money, I guess that would be a big issue, but that's not really it for me. I just kind of enjoy, like you said, the competition.
Yeah.
So have you pretty much survived as a poker pro since college? Have you had any? I think I read your parents have a family restaurant. I mean, do you ever have a time where you have to take a month off poker and go there and just bust your ass bartending or whatever?
No. I mean, at first when I first started, I was a massive loser. I would work. I worked outside at Fisherman's Wharf cracking crab, and like $15 an hour, and I would just put my whole check. After rent, I would put it on the stars when we could play on stars, and I was like down like 15,000 on Shark Scope to start my career, and then I joined Part-Time Poker, which is like a staking site, and I got staked in Sit and Goes, and I did 2 stakes on there, and then once I figured out real bankroll management, I literally just played Dons every day. I would play like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, like 12 tabling fucking 50-50s. And I would break even on the month. I would pay my rent. I would eat. I would pay all my bills. And I would be dead even. And I would still have my $1,000 roll on stars. And I did it every month. And I never got ahead for like a year. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I can't live like this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had no social life either. I was, like, really, like, I mean, it was an addiction. I was obsessed.
Right.
And then, sure enough, like, I got the lock deal, which was good and then ended up being horrible because I lost a lot of money. But, yeah, after that, I mean, I really didn't look back after I started the 50-50s and really just, I mean, my work ethic, like, as far as grinding was top notch. Yeah, and that's not a brag or anything. It's just I worked really hard, and now I study all the time. And I mean, I cannot tell you guys, like, studying is way more important than playing, and it's really not even close.
What percentage would you say of your time you study, and then what percentage would you say you play? Is it like 80% playing, 20% studying, or what?
Last year was probably 80-20. This year has been, like, I'd say almost 50-50. I've studied, like, half the time and played half the time. And when I'm playing now, I'm so mentally focused, like, no stress, no tilt. And I honestly think I may make more money than last year playing like half the days. I'm like, I mean, I was playing like probably 5 days a week for the most part last year, 6 days sometimes, whatever. Now I'm playing like 3 to 4. I mean, this is 1 month, but so it's not a big sample, but I just feel better when I'm playing. And I worry that could be because I had that big score, but if it is, so be it. Like, I'm just not stressed at all. Like, I'm meditating. I got the mental coach, eating right, trying to exercise. Like,
but you're still talking a lot of shit at the table too. So
I haven't this year.
Not really.
In January, okay. No. I mean, dude, I am notoriously a big shit talker. Like, especially the last 4 months when I was stressing, and I frown upon myself. It's like, after the fact, I'm like, why did I do that? In fact, I've apologized to people like a couple orbits later after I called them an idiot, a fucking idiot or something like that. It's a big leak, and that's me. My mental game has just been, that was the weakest part of my game forever because I didn't want to accept losing, and that's just part of the game, unfortunately.
What's your normal warm-up routine? You mentioned meditation. Like, what do you do before a session?
Yeah, so I wake up around 9 or 10, I'll say. Probably 10 would be, I wake up.
I'll be honest here.
Yeah. I'll exercise for like 15, 20 minutes, stretch for another 10, come inside, shower, I go upstairs and eat, and then I meditate for like 15 to 20 minutes. I don't do this every day, but if you want to be great, you should do like something similar to this. So meditate for 20 minutes, and then before I grind, I'll like review some hands from the night before, or maybe watch a video for like 20 to 30 minutes, just so I don't go into my session rusty. I don't want to go in and like be flustered at the table. Like I want to go in like Jared Tendler's book is great. I mean, he talks about preparation. So preparing before is going to put you in a good spot when you start to grind. Like waking up and just registering, you're burning money. Like, you'll be a winner, but you'll never be great. Like, it just doesn't work that way. You can't do it that way.
Yeah.
I've got a pen and paper in front of me, and I just wrote meditate with 3 exclamation points and 2 underlines. So.
And now, when you meditate, what? At least I only do it for 5 minutes, so maybe I need to do it for longer. But do you basically just sit with your legs crossed and just completely clear your mind? Do you do like ohms or what? How do you do it?
Okay, so there's a app called Headspace, which is really good. That's free for 10 days. It's like a 10-day trial. It's 10-minute, little 10-minute meditation sets. Ben Reason meditates for like an hour a day, so he is like just amazing. No, wow. I mean, yeah,
So you listen to this from Headspace, right? It's an
well, and I have some MP3s from Elliot Rowe. He does the warm ups, like then he does post game warm ups, pre game warm ups, where it's just little 10 minutes where he talks about not tilting, stuff like that. It's really good, and like
where do we get that?
You can go on his page. Give me 1 second.
Elliot Rowe. Okay, how do you spell his name? Elliot?
Yeah, and then Roe last name. It's pokermindcoach.com.
Ah, okay.
And I mean, I think they're like $20, and he gives some away for free. So yeah, just download them and try them. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of times when I'm meditating, I'm thinking about other stuff, but at least I'm, sometimes I actually I'm really into it, and it just doesn't work every time, I guess, but it's good to get in the habit of doing it. And I was kind of honestly, I'm like the last person you would ever expect to meditate. But yeah, since I've started doing it, I just tilt less. I feel like I'm in the zone more, and tilting less is key. Like, getting angry, clouds your judgment, makes you make stupid decisions.
I freaking punted last night, and it was just because I wasn't in the right mindset. It's just dumb. And it was almost like as I was doing it, I knew what I was doing. And I'm like, stop it, you dumbass! Stop it, you dumbass! And I just slid my chips into the middle, and I'm like, well, you might as well kiss those goodbye.
Dude, Steve, I'm telling you, if you start meditating during game, you won't tilt like that. You'll make the right decision. Everything will be clear. You'll know what to do, and you'll just do it.
Okay.
Anytime you get angry or something's wrong in your, like, outside, like, in your real life, like, whatever, you know, your wife's calling you and she's angry, you've been fighting with your wife all day. It's just the worst time to be playing is, like, when you have all this outside stuff. So, like, when you get angry at the table, it's the same thing. Your judgment's clouded. Like, you just make bad decisions. And, I mean, I suffered through that my whole career, and it's too soon to say it's fixed, but I've definitely got a lot better. And, I mean, just imagine if you could play your A game, like, 90% of the time as opposed to, like, I mean, I think last year I played my A game maybe 60% of the time. That's a pretty big jump. I mean.
Yeah.
That's I got to reevaluate. I was picturing you as a player who's sitting there like chugging whiskey, kicking the family dog.
No, actually,
just like some trash-strewn room because you've been playing for 27 straight hours. You know what I mean? And now you're like the model pro now, man. Congratulations.
Well, I appreciate that. The truth is in the past years I was the guy I never drink when I play. Yeah,
are you ever watching? I'm usually, I got to be honest, I've got like a movie on. Sometimes sometimes I have a movie on. I'm like surfing the internet, talking to a friend, and playing. It's pretty bad.
No. I get on Skype calls sometimes with other guys that are playing, and just to like shoot the shit. Like, but having the TV on, big mistake. Searching the internet, big mistake. If you remove that from your game, you're gonna see like 20% increase in your ROI.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for 8 hours a day or however long we play, it's important to just have all our attention on that. And, like, if you're talking to someone on Skype while playing, like, you can talk hands out, be like, yeah, man, I just played this hand. Like, check it out, put it in the Skype chat. I don't think that's for everyone. For me, it helps.
I used to do that, and it was a little distracting for me.
Yeah, like, I don't type much. Like, Derek and I, Killingbird, we get on call, and we kind of just shoot the shit. Like, I don't even play on the sites he plays on. He plays on Bovada and Winning, and I'm very rarely playing on either of those. This year I'm adding him a bit more. But, yeah, we just sit there and play, and, like, sometimes we'll listen to music. But, like, it's nice to have someone just to, you know, shoot the shit with. I used to be the guy that would have the basketball game on. I would have a training video on while playing. That's all bad. Anything that's going to distract you is the worst. Like you said, Steve, if being on Skype call distracts you, do not do it.
Yeah.
You got to have all your attention on the game because, yeah, it's just the best way to maximize our equity.
And if I can ease into our discussion of your big score a little bit, and maybe there's a couple hands you remember. I've actually final tabled that thing 5 times, and with 2/3, 2/6, and a 1/9. And like, if I looked at it, if I had like somehow had like a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that's like an extra 40,000. That's like the difference.
Yeah,
when you're talking about ROI, I looked up our OPR stats here. If I just show a different, I'm like a 25% ROI, and I think you're probably more around 50 or 60. And a lot of it, I want to ask if maybe a lot of this has to do with your sit and go background, where you're just so comfortable shorthanded. But I looked, and you have on, I don't know how accurate the stats are on OPR, but what I saw here, you have 35 first place finishes, 17 second, and 10 thirds. So you've got more firsts, but then second and third combined.
That's impressive.
And mine is 23 firsts, 12 seconds, and 30 thirds. So
it's
like if I get some
there. Yours isn't bad at all, and I'll tell you. Go ahead though.
Okay. Well, no, I think I've gotten better. I was told Steve my under merge my last 16 heads up matches I've won 14 and lost 2.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So I'm getting better, but that just I mean, you're the better player, but just I mean, so much about it is obviously being able to ship these things. I mean, if you really want to make a living, just running deep is just not enough.
I agree. Like, making a final table and taking 8th on the U.S. sites is just like, it's not going to get you anywhere.
Right. It's like, ooh, it's like I get milk in my cereal this week. You know?
Yeah.
I just paid for the next 2 buy-ins. Woo!
The problem with OPR for me, Mike, is that just for me this last year, I mean, the site's great. I had to change names twice because Poker Host got shut down and Ace got shut down.
Right.
So my stats may not be that good, or I mean, I don't really know, to be honest.
These were the two AZNs. I looked up your two.
Oh, you looked up both? Okay.
I looked up both. These are both AZNs.
Oh, nice. Well, then I'm actually shocked it's that high. Yours is interesting because you take more thirds than seconds, but that's good because that means you're going for the win. Now, there could be an issue there where you may be playing too ag, but generally speaking, that isn't that, like, your distribution isn't bad at all. Now, I guess I feel like, for me, winning more, I guess, why I'm taking more first, especially this year, like, my head-up game was horrible. I've worked on that because, you said it, like, our ROI, our profit is all based on winning head-up, as sick as that sounds, but, like, the high roller goes from, 7,000 to, like, 5,500, and that's 7.5 buy-ins. That's a lot. Sure. And imagine going from first to 8, like, all of a sudden you're going from $700 to 7,000. I mean, that's big.
My last high roller, I came in third for, I think, 3,300, and first was 7,000. So that's more than a month of expenses, pretty much. So.
Yeah, I guess for me is, like, I try to pick on guys who I know are playing on scared money, or basically, like, I try to just ICM bang people. Like, ICM is huge. A lot of people won't take a gamble, 12, 11-handed, because they want to make the final table. So, like, I feel like I'm probably one of the best as far as, like, bubble play, like, abusing the bubble. And I think that's where my career also took. I went from good to, like, better than good. I won't say great yet because I'm not great. Soon. But, when I started abusing the bubble a lot more and, like, taking spots, and a lot of times I bust 11th because, like, I do something really ag, but, that's just part of the learning curve. More than often, it's going to work. And you accumulate these massive stacks and go to the final table with, like, a 2-1 chip lead on second. You can run over the table now. I'd say bubble is probably the biggest time where we can just gain chips. And
so being super ag with 2 tables to go is sort of the key to getting to first, second, and third, really.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, sure, you can get to the final table with 12 big blinds, being 8 of 9, and you can get cards and win. In fact, I tell Derek this all the time because I coach Derek, and I watch his hand histories, and I'm like, bro, like, you're getting the final tables, which are good, but you have 12 and 13 bigs. You need to be the guy that's the chip leader. Like, I make it sound easy, but that's really what we want. Like, if it's the difference between us taking, like, say we took 10 eights, we took 8 10 times, that equals 1 first. So, like, gamble when we're in 11th, and that's the problem when you play on tight money, scared money, whatever. You're trying to move up. Like, you're playing nitty to try to make that final table because subconsciously we think, or even consciously, we think that that's going to be the best way to make money, is to just get to the final table. When in all actuality, getting to the final table is meaningless. Like, I mean, it's not meaningless, but we want to be chip leader because that's when we can actually abuse ICM. And, like, especially, I always bring up the high roller. It's one of the biggest tournaments to play for U.S. grinders. There's decent money jumps, like thousands. You're talking, like, thousands of dollars. So, like, I don't want to say, like, gamble more on the bubble, but yeah, like 11th, 12th, like, I wouldn't focus on trying to make the final table. I would just always focus on accumulating, especially, like, 12, 13-handed. And, like, I shark scope people all the time, and I'm like, okay, let's see who some winners are. I mean, merge, we kind of know everyone. But some people are on scared money. Like, average buy-in will be like $30, and they're on the bubble of the high roller. And it's okay, I'm going to abuse this guy. Like, I'm going to make his life hell.
Yeah. That's funny. That's a stat I've never even looked at, average buy-in. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. So your mental game has to be, I'm sure must have had, like, a high roller where you, like, 4-bet, ripped king 8 and ran into aces, and that doesn't bother you at this point.
well, this is all new, but like, yes, since January, none of that has affected me at all. Like yesterday, I had a horrific session and was never bothered once by a cool or a bad beat. Like I said, this is a month in. Like, if we go back to 2014, I was stressing over everything, feeling entitled, like, why am I not winning? I mean, I had this absurd heater where I was up like 80,000 before Vegas, and then I flatlined for 5 months after, and it was because I was playing bad. I mean, I've said, like, people always want to make this excuse, like, oh, it's just variance, it's just variance. No, it's not variance. It's you fucking up at the table and not studying off the table.
I agree.
It's you thinking playing all the time is going to be your answer to make money, when, no, we should study 5 days a week and play once and play perfectly that one day, as opposed to our C and D game the 5 other days. I'd rather play one perfect day than 5 days of, like, C poker. So, yeah, this year has just been, like, I've been clear. Like, I feel great when I'm playing. And, yeah, like, I can't tell you how much improvements. And it's early, but if I can keep this up, I'll destroy my results from last year. I'm very confident in that.
That's great.
Nice. Good for you, man.
You know, thinking of this interview, because I talked to you in Vegas, and you were the number one on the site at the time, and I'm like, Jesus, man, you're killing it. And then I'm sort of paying attention. I hadn't seen you making a lot of scores, last 6 months. So I was thinking you came into this big score probably just fucking distraught and like giving up on poker, and this was going to be one of those stories where you were down, and then all of a sudden now you're a score you desperately needed, and you're just elated. But it sounds like it was just kind of the opposite. You were not angry about the game, or just kind of refocused and ready to play well.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, yeah, I'd say the last 3 months especially. I mean, I was still doing okay on winning for a little bit on the winning network, ACR and stuff. But, yeah, I struggled on merge, and it was literally just because of the stupid leaderboard that is meaningless. Like, it literally, you don't get a prize for it if you win it. It's just more like, and I don't really care about. Rights. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing for me. I don't care about that. Like, I don't even like art. I don't like articles written up. I'm fine. For me, it's just what I want. I wanted to be number one, and I didn't care if anyone knew about it. Just for my own personal satisfaction.
Sure.
That's what I wanted, because I don't care about fame. I mean, if I cared about fame, I would have played the 500 every week last week, and I didn't play that at all until the past 2 months. And I'm rolled for it. I thought it was a tougher field. I said, my edge is, I'll take my edge in an $11 instead, where I'm going to win at 100% ROI is something I may win at 10%. But, like, yeah, I'm always looking for, like, the best game to get into. Like, I want the easiest site to play on. I don't need to play on these Euro sites. I want to play on, like, where's the softest site? Like, give me that site, and, like, I could be Joe Schmo, and I don't care. Like, I'm big on game selection, stuff like that.
If you, build up your bankroll, is there any thought to, like, taking a trip to Mexico or Canada or whatever to play some scoop events and that sort of thing, or are you just happy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not tied down. The thing is with me, I couldn't have a girlfriend or a wife with my life is poker. So yeah, I think about it all the time. And I'm single.
How old are you, Mark?
32.
32,
older.
okay.
So I'm like dinosaur. We're older for poker players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely thought about it. Given a lot of thought to Canada, Costa Rica, or Mexico. It'll be a challenge, that's what I live for. But yeah, I'm kind of hesitant. I don't know. Like, the money's really good on these U.S. sites. Like,
just show up at the big dogs with a sleeping bag and a Slurpee and said, "Let me in."
And he just
got a bunch of Otter Pops. And come on in, Mark.
No, hot dogs. I need hot dogs.
Hot dogs, okay.
He would let me, like, he's married now too, and he would let me live there, like, for sure. I wouldn't, because I don't want to be, third wheel, whatever. But yeah, I've thought about it, and I guess what's holding.
Biscuit.
Well, San Francisco's got it. First of all, it's beautiful. That's got to be a cool place to live. So to leave there is.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but, like, how beautiful can it be when you sit in a room all day, like, and look at a screen?
Well, okay, that's true.
Where at are you in?
I'm actually north. I'm in Marin County, which is even more beautiful than San Francisco. Like a lot more nature, redwoods. It's awesome.
Oh, so you're north of the Golden. You're not in the city.
No, if I lived
Okay.
in the city, I'd be an alcoholic.
Do you ever meet up with Andrew?
Andrew.
Andrew Brokus. He just moved there like a month or two ago, I think.
Oh, did he?
His
Well,
podcast, yeah.
it's funny. No, I mean, I love it. I love Andrew. Like, love his videos and stuff. But I actually, when I was first looking for a coach, I don't really care. I'll say whatever. I asked him for coaching. He was the first one I went to because I thought he would be the best to help me improve. And he wrote me a nice email. I mean, it was nice. It didn't piss me off, but I was a little angry. He wouldn't coach me because of my affiliation with Locke.
What?
That's kind of silly.
Yeah, and I love Andrew. Like I said, I listened to his podcast. Great guy. I was shocked. I was like, bro, you realize I'm the one losing the most money, and I'm not affiliated with him anymore. I mean, whatever. I understand why he did it. He's got the podcast. Doesn't want anyone to know that he's coaching a former Locke pro, whatever.
Why
But yeah,
would
so
that
no,
matter?
I probably won't
understand.
be hanging out with him, no.
Yeah. Well, we can edit all this out. What?
Nah.
No, leave it on.
You know that's
Alright.
that's interesting. I wrote him for coaching too, and he never responded. So I don't know. He might just have a couple real wealthy dudes who pay a lot for coaching, and that might be a factor too. Where obviously he's a real busy guy. He's doing a lot of shit, and so he's got a couple.
I think a lot of people would actually respect his opinion on not coach, his decision not to coach me. But I have nothing to hide about the Locke situation. I mean, yeah, I got a pro deal. I got a big rake back deal. And, I also got screwed more money than anyone. I probably had, I don't know. I have a shit ton of money on there that I'm not going to get. So, all these people that send me, death threats and hate threats on Twitter and shit, I lost way more than any of you. Trust me.
With all the
people,
douchebags. Yes,
why
Steve does not seem to know about the Locke Pro.
Okay, so basically what happened with Locke is it's still up in the air.
Well, they shut down. You can't play on there anymore, right?
Well, and a lot of people didn't get paid.
Okay. Now, how is that your fault?
And that's what drives me nuts. I have nothing to do. Sure, I've talked to the boss before, and she's actually a really cool chick. I think it was. I don't really know what happened at all, to be honest. I'm not I wasn't a top tier pro. I don't even think the top tier pros know. I was just a grinder, and I got a little bit of a better rake back deal than most people. That was my deal. I was a glorified rake back pro. And yeah, I don't know. That's just how people are. I'm not Tom Dwan, who's some big name pro on Full Tilt, who maybe knows what happened with Full Tilt. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's innocent too. Who knows? But it's kind of funny to me that no one bashes a guy like Phil Ivey, and clearly he knows what happened. Come on, nobody said a word to him. Some people have said some stuff, but they're blaming Ferguson and Lederer.
Yeah. How did they get wrapped up in that? That's what I don't understand. It seems to me like it would be the guy that's in charge of the business, not the ones that he hired to represent.
Well, Lederer and Ferguson certainly deserve every bit of criticism they got. They were in charge of the business, kind of.
But they were. I didn't know that.
Ivy could be too. I'm sure Ivy was in on a lot of those big meetings. I'm just saying, I get it, but
these top guys are definitely. Well, I heard one guy getting interviewed about the UB scandal, the one who uncovered a lot, and he says somehow Phil Hellmuth got off scot-free, and he said, this idea that Phil was ignorant of what was going on. He was handpicking all the guys who were running this. He was so. I'm not going to accuse him of being a thief or whatever. I don't know if there hasn't really been the smoking gun there, but it's not inconceivable that he knew people were stealing the money. And didn't give a shit.
Exactly. And, like I said, I never knew anything going on. I have nothing to do with the cash out process. Sure, I've taken there's a couple TB members that signed up through my affiliation with Locke, and one of them's Mitch. And, I've apologized to him several times. I feel bad, 25, whatever he lost, I feel somewhat responsible for. But there's very few that happened to, and like I can't control. The situation's out of my control. I lost a shit ton of money. It sucks. Hopefully the situation gets solved. I have my doubts. But yeah, I mean, it's just how it goes. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe having a little more optimistic conversation about online poker. Do you think it's going to be legal in California anytime soon?
Yeah, I do. I think California is going to be the next state to come in. It's interesting because Nevada wanted California. They wanted to join forces, or Nevada wanted California, and California said, no way. We have like 35% of the online market in the United States. That would be stupid of us. So, yeah, I definitely think it's going to come soon. Maybe 2016, 2017, like hopefully this year would be awesome. But yeah, I think
that's potentially
great.
a real bitchin' sight here for any competent MTTer, I would think, at least for the first year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would hope so.
Oh yeah, and potentially because it's such a big player pool, it's going to have such a big player pool. Potentially, we could have our own Sunday Million, or close to it, like every week. It would be amazing because a lot of people love to play cards in California. I mean, I'm excited for that. Just thinking about it, you saying that, I'm like all giddy now. Like I can't wait because we'll have the fish back too. Like your average Joe, want to deposit.
Yeah,
right.
It's just good for us.
Oh yeah. You're not playing regs all the time, and
a lot of people get excited about thinking about Scarlett Johansson naked, but no. We want legalized poker in California. This is what gets the pulse moving.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson is so hot. So,
right. Well,
I'm obsessed with her too.
That's a poor analogy, I guess.
Did you ever see that movie she did, Under the Skin?
No, I saw the one Don Juan, and I was like, oh my god, like.
She was in this movie. It's called.
Is that the one where like the men would melt?
Yes.
Yeah, it was
very weird, right?
Yeah.
Was she a spider or an alien, or what the hell was she?
Just fascinating to watch. It's impressionistic, philosophical European cinema that you just kind of appreciate for its weirdness. And if you really wanted to,
I felt like telling her if I ever met her, I'd just be like, sweetheart, you can say no to a movie. You don't have to take this one. Read the script first. Just
no. I thought the movie was enthralling just to watch because I'm kind of an arty guy. I like David Lynch, and I like the Truffaut and Fellini, European cinema. So yeah, I recommend that film.
No,
but I also love the Avengers.
What the hell was it? I like the one she did with not Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. Yeah, I don't remember what was the name of that one. Lucy, I think.
Yeah. Yes, I have not seen that one. I want to see that though.
That one was good.
It does look good.
That one was good. I did have one other quick question, Mark. What do you do as far as bankroll management? Almost all my bankroll management has been off the book Treat Your Poker Like a Business by Dusty Schmidt. Have you read that one?
I haven't. I actually follow Dusty Schmidt on Facebook, though, and he's a pretty interesting character. I'm guessing it's, like, what does he say as far as buy-ins? Is he 1%, something like that for
1%,
MTTs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's on the safer side. I don't think 1% is. I think that's like on U.S. sites. Throw that out the window.
Okay.
Trying to think. I don't want to.
Basically, it should be you should never lose enough money in one day or 1 week where you're like traumatized by it and can no longer have to get a job. That's the way I kind of look at it. Yeah, in that case, that I just have terrible bankroll management because like just this last month has just buried me to the point of having to survive is difficult now.
I'd say 3 to 5. I think is comfortable, like on the U.S. sites, depending on the field size. Okay. But like the number one thing I have to say is that, like, as far as bankroll management and like playing like where you need the money, anytime you're playing where like your decisions are going to be altered by like moving up a spot because like you need X amount of dollars to pay rent, whatever. I did that for years, and it is the worst way because you're just not playing correctly. I did that for years, man. It drove me nuts. Like, it's just all my decisions were based on, I was like, oh my God, I have to make X amount of dollars. The time I got like somewhat comfortable, like what I did was I had a score and I paid off like 6 months rent. And like I put away like $3K, $4K for like some bills for a couple months. When I got that stress off my back, I started playing like just the best poker I could imagine. Like I had a little roll online, like I could afford to lose it. So like if that's the case, move down in buy-ins because you're going to play better and it's going to be less stress and you're going to have more results. No brainer. This is all from experience because putting that pressure on yourself to produce, like you play the high roller, and like, yeah, it's just, you're not going to play right. And it's hard to win when you're not making decisions based on what the best play is in game. You're like, oh, I'm going to knit up here and maybe move up a spot for an extra $500. I mean, I've been there.
Yeah. If you actually get a chance to listen to a couple of our earlier podcasts, that's pretty much I've been playing like 5-10 and occasionally even 10-20, I'm ashamed to say.
And you're a great player, Mike. I mean, it's amazing. Like, you're a great player. You drive me freaking nuts at the table because you're good and you're sticky and you're hard to beat in position when you're in position. You're very good and tough. Like I'm shocked you're not one of the biggest winners on Merge, to be honest.
Thank you, sir.
And I can tell you're leaking mentally for sure. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but
no, I
can really tell you have some mental. I mean, dude, you got to get with Elliot. I struggled all last year. I've struggled my whole career with these mental issues. I mean, dude, we didn't even get into it, but I used to fucking play 1K head-up hypers and stuff, just like with a 2K roll. I would just tilt out of my mind and be an idiot. And all that made me a better person, but like the transition from going from like playing 5-10 cash, like, are you seriously playing 5-10 cash? That's 5 buy-ins in the high roller, 4.5 buy-ins, whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
well, potentially a lot. The 3K buy-in in that game and where I play, and I don't even want to talk about the amount of money I've lost. But yeah, Steve's been telling me, he's like, just get your confidence back, play 2-3 for a month, be happy with $20-$25 an hour, rebuild. But yeah. It's just hard to do for me for whatever reason.
Well, it's a mental leak, and it's easily fixable. Like, have you read Jared Tendler's book? Yeah, with Elliot Rowe. There's a lot of like I said. We
actually spoke to Jared Tendler last week, and
really, I got
that'll be an upcoming podcast for. Yeah.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I read them, and it's funny. I was talking to Jared Tendler. It's like I've absorbed and remember everything in your book, but don't use them. Like I'll actually say to myself, I'll even use his language. I go, this is entitlement tilt now.
Yeah.
I'm calling. I said, I'm like, this is revenge tilt. I'm shoving. Like I've said that to players. I said, I've been saying, I'm like, sir, you should be very happy. I am on entitlement tilt. I'm calling, your 100 big blind shove with ace king. And of course they've always has kings and
I mean, I did the same thing all last year. I would like get turned on with like king deuce when he would like 3-bet jam 25 bigs just because I'm like, nope, F this guy. I call like, and of course he has like ace king and I lose. And I'm like, what am I doing? I hate money? I must hate money or something.
Yeah, it's good to see the pros. A couple of the big dog live sweats. Like it makes me feel good. He's like, here comes a spite shove.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was like, okay, if Big Dog can do it, I can do it. And
that's bad because
we
don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We can beat that. Like, there's ways to beat that. And that's all a mistake. I mean, imagine every time you did that, like Steve the other night, the way you said, like, I knew it was bad and I still put it in. If we combined between the three of us, like last year, for a year, if we took all the times we did that, it'd be like 200, 300, 400. I don't even know. It'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Imagine if we all removed that and had like maybe 50 combined. We'd all have way more money, bigger bankrolls, less stress, playing better. And we can do it. We all can do it. We just have to like block out this anger or not get angry. Exactly. We need to meditate more. We need to exercise. We need to be happier about our lives, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm going to go on that site, Poker Mind Coach. I'm going to download a couple of his because I listen to hypnosis tapes now, but there are other ones. They're like Focus and I'm trying to find ones that are somehow related to poker, but it sounds like he does ones that are just for poker. That sounds exactly like.
Yeah, I mean, I have one specifically for pain from him because I was having back pain and like it's gone somehow now because of him. Oh, it's really weird. And then his pregame one I listen to like 3 times a week when I'm not doing Headspace, and I tilting way less, man, and I mean not at all this year, which is great.
It's kind of fun. We've mentioned a couple of the TPE coaches, so I just want to mention James Lambert. Anytime I'm like I'm very passive in dealing with my mental game. Obviously, I need to do more, but I'm always his live sweats. I'm always like, even if he's playing like a $5 tournament, you can tell he's just absolutely determined to make the right move every time, and just like an accountant at work. And I'm always for if there's any non-TPE members that want to join, that's another one of the videos I highly recommend.
Great training site.
It's that's the other thing that comes when we start, like, when we get our mental game on point. Like, the other night I was in, like, an $11 on Bovada, 10K, and usually I would punt that. My last tournament, like, busted everything down, like, 1,500, whatever. I would punt that. I played my best I could. I didn't win. I took 7th or something, but I played great. I didn't tilt. I didn't force action. And I finished my session a loser, but I was a winner. I was so happy. I was like, Mark, that was fucking amazing. You played an $11 tournament one tabling for 3 hours. You played great, and whatever. We didn't get any results, but that's a step in the right direction. That's how we improve our ROI, too, is by closing out the $1, the $2, the $5 tournaments.
Sure.
Yeah.
That we usually just punt when we bust the high roller.
I remember I had the experience in a live tournament. I'd never been so happy where it was like a 365 tournament at the Borgata or whatever, and somehow I had like aces cracked all in pre-flop early, and I was down to like 9 big blinds, second level or something with like 900 chips. And I just said I'm fighting, and I ended up min cashing. I'm like, that's the best poker I've ever played.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm like, online for, especially with the rebuys,
Yeah, well, it's understandable in a rebuy.
But, but I just decided, I'm going to, and one of the few times I played a tournament where I look back and I'm like, geez, I don't think I misplayed a hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I did, but, it was very happy.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you look back and you're like, I wouldn't do anything different. I wouldn't have done anything different.
Speaking of hands, Mark, I don't know if there's if you remember any or maybe wrote down a couple of hands from your big win here, or any hands you want to discuss.
Yeah, I'll tell you one I remember was getting an Ace Jack versus sixes, P Kaiser, and flop came Ace 6 Deuce, and I had Ace Jack. And we got it all in pre-flop, and then it ran out Ace Jack, which was amazing. I mean,
there's always one of those.
But yeah, as far as head
was that late? Was that late in the tournament?
Yeah,
pretty late.
Final 2 tables.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't make any big folds. The other night in the high roller, I folded queens 5-handed, which ended up being the right fold. But we were 10-handed, 5 and 5, and basically what happened, I feel like this is a really interesting hand. I'm sitting at like 35 big blinds. Under the gun is Spree for 3. You know who he is, Mike?
Yeah, winning player.
Winning player, aggressive, good. He opens under the gun. I think he's got like 40 bigs, so he covers me. I'm under the gun 1. I 3-bet.
So is he min bet, or does he raise 2 big blinds, 2.5?
I think he min raised.
Okay.
And I think he min raised to 8K, and I made it 19,999. The folded to the button now, who jams 15 bigs, so 60,000. Small blind folds, big blind folds, back to Spree, and he jams 35 effective. So usually this is a spot I'm not folding, but. Like, on the high roller bubble, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, how we can, it's kind of the opposite, but I know Spree is not going to get it in with anything worse than Ace-King here. Like, I'm not sure he's getting in jacks, but that's I think he may get in jacks, but not all the time. Like, I mean, this is under the gun open 3-bet.
I was going to say that's
five-handed.
Right.
Yeah.
If he's under the gun, you're still capable of 3-betting with crap just because he's under the gun, but it's certainly less likely.
How much did he shove?
It was 140,000, and I had like 130,000. I had like 135. I had like roughly 35 bigs, I'd say. So. And
this is the final table, or is this the last two tables?
Last two tables, 10-handed, so final table bubble. And okay, so the guy who rejammed too, I should mention, because this obviously has a lot to do with it, was very tight. Very tight. Just like hadn't done a lot. I can't remember him playing a hand in like literally 3 orbits. So he was clearly looking for a spot. Given he was short. But now someone cold 4-betting like the 2 big stacks at the table, that's not going to be too light. Cold 4 shoving with like little to no fold equity. He can't imagine I'm ever folding. Like it's 40K more. I'd be getting like 2.5 to 1. I'd probably never fold.
Yeah.
I mean, there are cases like, well, we won't get into that. That'll take 3 hours. But now when Spree does this, like literally, like okay, so like if we range him properly, I'd say I don't think it's ever ace queen.
No.
Ace king obviously is ace king, aces kings, queens we block, so unlikely. And like jacks, I don't know. Like let's put you guys in the situation. So you open under the gun, you have AZN, me 3-bet you. You're like, okay, whatever. Like he's just 3-betting. It's probably meaningless. Then you have the cold 4 shove.
Yeah, well, he's shoving what, 15 bigs?
The cold 4 shove, yeah, but
that's still 15 bigs is still a good amount here when you got 40, obviously.
Yeah, like the 2 chip leaders are 40 and 40 basically. Yeah. So effectively, like stacks aren't that deep at this point. This was actually the longest the bubble has ever taken in the high roller for me. So I mean, well, I'd
be worried. I mean. Yeah, immediately if he has ace king, if I'm under the gun with ace king, I'm worried that one of you guys has an ace. So yeah.
So now we go from being coin to like a 40%.
Yeah, I mean he's still. I mean, he probably thinks if he shoves, you're folding. A good part of your range there. If he thinks you're 3-betting any pair, a couple suited connectors, obviously, he thinks he's getting a fold out of you. 80% plus, but
yeah, I guess, but like, I really want to pull up the hand because I can get exact stacks. Like, everyone was kind of short, and like,
yeah, let's do it. Pull up the hand. I'll put this in the show notes so we can have the exact numbers and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Can we pause for a second give me like a second to find it?
Yeah, sure.
That's we can shoot the stuff. The one thing a lot of times when I call there, it's because like I just want to know what the guy's hand is to see if he's outplaying me. But here, the fact that you got 2 all-ins, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe that should increase the chances you call because there's a possibility they both got ace king. But at least you get to see their hands afterwards, and you can fold and you still got 30 big blinds.
Well,
so
here my we'll see. But my thinking was that like I literally didn't think it was jacks too often. I mean, although a lot of people are going to say like, dude, he's easily getting jacks in there. I didn't feel that at this exact moment. Like nobody was playing really aggressive. Me and him were topping chips. I just know my edge on the field for me to be flipping here, or even say he has ace queen, like he still has decent equity against me. My tournament life is way more valuable to me. I mean, like if he showed me ace queen, I would get it in. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not even like it's not like the greatest situation ever where I can still be playing post. So I leveled myself, or I told myself that. I'm better than this. Like, I can wait for a better spot. And sure, it's queen's 5-handed. It seems absurd, but yeah, I mean, it's a 6 spot. And, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of people would say to call.
Yeah, it's definitely not a snap call. It's definitely, yeah, that's the exact question is like, okay, is he shoving queens? I mean, is he shoving jacks? I guess is the critical question here.
Is he doing that with jacks or tens or nines or anything worse?
Yeah, because I just want to be like, I need to be ahead a decent percentage of the time for that to be really good. Give me 1 second. I'm still looking for this hand. Let me see if this is it. The stacks were really short. Oh, yeah, here it is. Perfect. Okay, do you want me to go with the hand?
Yeah. Okay,
so I was wrong. We are at 2-4K, but I was wrong about stacks.
Okay.
We're 5-handed. Spree for 3 has 147,000, so 35, 36, 37 big blinds. I have 170,000.
Okay.
So that's that's a really good stack. 3 other stacks at the table are 181 and 135.
181 and 35. 35K. And what did Spree for 3 have?
He has 147.
147K. Okay.
So he opens under the gun to 8,500.
Okay.
This is going to change it a lot. I 3-bet to 19. It's funny, I remember my exact size.
You remember your number?
Yeah, 19.99. I was right. The button folds to the small blind, LA Chance 222, who's on the tighter side. Actually, I should probably pull my head up.
The small blind is the one that shoved?
Yeah, not the button. I apologize.
Okay.
He has 83K, so 21 bigs. So, like, I'm very comfortable getting in with him if it goes head up. Fold, Spree for 3, jams, 147K.
How do you spell his name? Spree?
And then the number 4.
Okay.
And 3.
Like spell 3?
Yeah, and then spell 3, yeah.
Okay.
So
you really want to know all the details, Steve.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Mark, what were you wearing at the time?
Probably boxers.
Was your baseball cap on backwards or tilted 3/4 to the side?
Looks good. We need to be specific on what's going on.
Okay, no.
Okay, so
the one thing, your 3-bet size. Are you pretty consistent there? Because that's a pretty small sizing. So I wonder which. I personally do when I'm like either. It's probably usually polarized when I'm more at the bottom or top of my. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that could increase the chance. I'm sure he's like attentive. If that was one of your smaller 3-bet size, that could increase the chances that you really got a strong hand and you're trying to get him to get him to 4-bet light.
Yeah, it's more about position for me. Like I'm much bigger out of position, like 2.9 to like 3.1x, I'd say, and in position, I'm closer to like between 2 and 2.5x. So, I would be doing this full range here, like. Okay. Although I'll be honest, I'm not going to 3-bet him very light here because of stack sizes. Like I'll just flat like a big chunk of my range, and I'll still have some bluffs here, but like with 3 stacks behind, 100K, 25 big rejam stack, a 20 big rejam stack.
I guess you can still even set mine here. Pocket 3s, are you just flatting?
No, I would 3-bet 3s as well.
Okay.
I'm actually in transition to like turning a lot of pairs in the bluff as opposed to flatting because I still think I get flattered a lot when I 3-bet 3s. I just win more because all of a sudden I took the initiative and now I'm the aggressor. So yeah, I actually like turning 3s into a bluff here a lot. But yeah, so I make it 19.99. The guy shoves 20K or 20 bigs, 83K, 21 bigs. And now it's back to like number 2 in chips and he jams here. Like if I fold, I have 38 bigs. If I call and lose, I'm out. I have 4 bigs, not out.
Yeah, then you're done. Yeah. You know what? Now that I look at it like this, I think you're right. That is a fold. Just almost more so because of the situation than anything else,
Well, even the ICM probably 11th or 12th place or whatever it was, or 10th place probably pays what, like $1,100 or something.
No, I don't even think so. I think it plays like 6 or something.
Oh,
in the
geez,
high
yeah,
roll.
it's such a
I didn't make this decision based on ICM, but I should take that into consideration for sure. This is more like, I guess what I thought my edge was. Like, I was accumulating chips pretty easily by just opening and c-betting and, like, 3-betting and not getting someone the 4-bet. So, like, for me, I knew I could get chips then to take, like, sure, I think calling here is going to be plus EV long term. For whatever reason, I really felt that Spree was stronger than usual here, despite him being aggressive. But, like, you know, it's kind of a game flow thing, and I tanked for a long time.
Did he insta-jam or did he tank for a while?
He insta-jammed, which made me feel ace-king right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay, because I figured aces or kings. Maybe he like does the whole wait 10 or 15 seconds, but you know, like again, the leveling thing. You know.
Well, here's the thing: if he shows me ace-king here, I would fold. Even though there's a strong chance LA Chance has like some ace blockers. I mean, there's still a chance you could have pairs, whatever. But I don't want to be flipping here as like, I think I'm one of the best players. Like, I have a really big stack. I've been getting chips. Like, so I don't really, I think flipping here would
if you don't even want to go up against ace king, then it's actually a pretty easy fold then. Because
And it kind, I mean, like, I took some time, but, like, I didn't really, like, stress about it. Like, I wanted to rethink the situation. I was like, does he ever have, like, 8s, 7s here? I was like, no, 9s, 10s, jacks, possibility, but I think he would think a little bit, then just snap get it in.
Jacks, he's got 10s and jacks, I would think he's got to think a little bit.
Yeah, like, I think it's a tough spot. Like, he's putting his tournament life when he's second in chips. Yeah. So, like, if he's wrong here and I happen to have it, like, I mean, he's out with $600 in a spot where his chips are probably worth, like, $2,000-3,000.
Sure. So what was the result of the hand? What did these guys turn over?
Okay, so LA Chance, the reshipper, ends up having 10s, and Spree ended up having kings. And this isn't why I'm not trying to, like, I don't say this hand because I get to look like a genius. But I actually think it's a pretty, I don't want to say standard, but I don't know. I kind of think if we really break the situation down.
This is a fold you probably couldn't make a year ago.
Oh, absolutely not.
Do you think? I mean, this is a year of you working hard and improving at poker for sure.
I wouldn't have made this fold at the end of 2014. I feel like I made this fold, because like
5 days of rest made the difference.
No, because this wasn't the Sunday one. This is like this is maybe like the 15th or something. No, I think literally like I said, I'm just not getting angry, and I'm really, I don't know, I'm in the moment. Like, I don't know, I'm not tilting, I'm not letting outside stuff bother me. So
but here's the funny ending, though. I'm sure the flop had to have been queen, queen, deuce, right?
No, it was the 10, so the okay. 10s doubles up. But, like, I thought it was going to be that cool story where, like, I fold queens 5-handed and then win, but that didn't happen. I took 5th. But, yeah, I mean, I ended up finding a lot better spots, and, like, sometimes I think calling with queens here is plus EV, but if I can pass on a plus EV spot to, like, open a bunch of times, to 3-bet, and never, not have people play back at me, I think the higher EV spot ends up being those higher EV situations, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny, I had a student the other day go, if some guy shows me ace-king, I call with jacks level 1. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, if a guy showed me ace-king and shoved, I would call him with jacks. I go, why would you ever do that? Like, that's just, like, the only way you should ever call there is, like, if you're at a table with Ivy, Durr, and, like, you're not...
You need to gamble a little bit. Yeah.
But if we can avoid gambling, like, why not? Unless it's, like, a rebuy or something, then go balls to the wall. Do what you do. But, yeah, I thought that was an interesting spot, so...
Speaking of coaching, how much do you charge for coaching, may I ask?
I mean, it depends. Like, I've depending on how many hours
you'll work with people, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've done it for free sometimes. Like, I enjoy working with people. Like, I've actually just started staking / backing some people, and I don't know. Like, I get something out of it. Like, I'm not really in the staking game to make money. I actually enjoy helping people out and getting people like in the right path, going the right direction, because I know how this game can just ruin lives. I've seen it happen way too many times. All of my friends that have played this game have quit now.
Okay, maybe I can get a free hand history review out of you. I'll do it for a little ass kissing or whatever needs to be done here.
No. You know what? You guys, I'm happy you guys called me on the podcast. That means a lot. So, yeah, I'll do that. I have no problem doing that. Plus, I'm worried about your mental game because you seem to have a lot of leaks like I had. I mean, dude, like I said, this is 1 month I've been good. I could go back next month to the dark side. I pray to God not. I'm
not leaking, man. I'm a sinking ship right now. So yeah, no, yeah. You're right on the money there for sure. But,
it's just you remind me a lot of myself, so which is bad and could be good. So yeah, we can work that out.
You got someone that's been there.
Yeah, no, it really is. Not that I really know you well personally, other than meeting you once, but it is just strange to hear you speaking in such a kind of a zen state about poker. It's obviously your work and coaching is obviously.
Yeah, what you're doing is working.
Paid the fuck off, to use your favorite word.
It's all new. It's all new. It's like a year into the meditations and stuff. Never thought I'd be a guy like I barely can cross my legs. I'm so fat. So like me meditating was always kind of funny to me, but I couldn't believe. I can't believe what it's done for me. It's amazing.
Well, we should.
It's been
probably wrap it up. You got to go pick up your son here pretty quick, right, Mike?
Yeah,
poor kid's going to be standing out front while we're talking about poker. But if people want to get in touch with you, Mark, for your coaching, anything like that, what's the best way they could do that?
Follow him on Twitter, man.
Yeah, AZN All In 007. That's my Twitter handle at AZN All In 007, and then. TPE, you could always send me a PM. I'm in the forums often, so yeah. I'm always around to talk hands, strat.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Mark. This has been awesome.
Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah, and I've been messaging with Killing Bird while we're talking, and I offered to bring him on the podcast right here while we're on, and he's like, oh man, I just fired up like 8 tables, and I'm having computer problems, and I'm like, all right, next time. So I think we're going to bring him on. Maybe we can bring you and.
Obviously, that would be real groovy if we could get some sort of relationship with TPE going too. So, but
that would. Yeah, maybe.
He brought it up to me, so I'm sure it's gold.
Okay.
Steve is the workhorse of this duo. I'll sit back, cross my fingers, and hope it happens. But Steve,
he'll pray to the lint in his belly button and hope that it gets done.
I'm delusional. I've convinced myself that I'm the talent here, and so you're the worker bee here. But with that, I do need to run. But,
okay, right on. All right, brother.
You guys have a great day.
Mike, contact me when you're ready. We'll do that review soon.
I really appreciate it. We'll do.
No problem, bud. You take care, Steve.
Okay, you too. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you
have a good
again.
one.
All right.
Bye-bye. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Marc Alioto. We sure did. He gave us a lot of tips on what you should be doing as a professional poker player and his routine, and it was really good for me to hear that, and I know it was for Mike as well. We really appreciate when you guys reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook, our blog, our email. You can get us on Twitter at HUP Podcast. Facebook, Heads Up Poker Podcast. We have a blog at headsuppokerpodcast.blogspot.com, and our email at headsuppokerpodcast@gmail.com. We love getting your emails. We really want to thank you guys for the 5-star reviews that you've been giving us on iTunes and all the comments that you leave on iTunes. We really appreciate that. We read them all, and we love it. So send us an email. Tell us on Twitter what would you like to hear about the show? What do you like? What do you want to hear more of? Do you like the interviews? Do you want us to do more interviews? Do you like it when just Mike and I talk? Do you want to hear more strategy? Do you want to hear stories? What is it that you want? Let us know. We'd love to hear it all. All right, you guys take care. You have a good rest of the day, and we will talk to you next week.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.